All right, people, we're back. I got some good news for you guys. We've started our Blog Talk Radio show sometime last week. I think it was last Friday, I think. Maybe 2 Fridays ago, I think. I don't know, somewhere around there. I think it was actually right around the second that we signed up. And then I think it was the Friday after that. So first show was a little slow. Second one, they kind of gradually get a little better from there. So new experience, the switchboard and all the stuff inside there. It's all done online and on phone and stuff like that. So it was kind of tricky to get used to. But we're up to 6 shows. 5 and 6 were kind of a two-part little series we did Sunday night. We had a bunch of, or excuse me, not Sunday night, Wednesday night. A bunch of stuff we did Wednesday. It was pretty cool. We brought in the first, the ass end. That's one of our little segments we came up with. It's fighters that get inducted into the ass end are the ones that were either on the ass end of an ass beating or the ass end of their career. Kind of how we look, how we look at it. We also a bunch of stuff we brought out. We're trying to obviously make an interesting show. You know what I mean? Just not just your regular going over fight cards and whatnot. We'll probably do some fantasy tournaments on there and stuff like that. Actually, I think that's going to be the plan for Sunday. I don't know whether it's just the Strike Force fantasy tournament because that'd be pretty weak if it was only Strike Force because Strike Force is severely lacking. But we might open it up to everything. You know what I mean? Dream, Strike Force, UFC, all of them. Excuse me. But figure maybe a 6-man or a, whatever. Keep it short and simple. Something like that. Just for fun, like I did on here a little while back. But just for shits and grins, I'm gonna run down the Versus 2 UFC on Versus 2 card. It's gonna be a pretty badass night, man. It's gonna be a good night of fights. 4 main fights that I'm really interested in. I really like. I'm gonna go down. It's pretty much the main card. Griffin versus Gomi. Takanori Gomi and Tyson Griffin. Takanori Gomi's coming off kind of a rough loss. Look, he was kind of slow in that fight. I believe it was a loss from Ken Flo. Ken Flo beat him last. You got Tyson Griffin coming off a loss to Evan Dunham. Evan Dunham, man, looks to be the next possibly the next big thing. But Tyson Griffin, I think, and Takanori Gomi should be pretty good, man. Should be pretty good. I don't know who to give the edge to. I'm a fan of Tyson Griffin. I kind of like his style. He's just a big-looking dude for his weight class. So anyhow, moving on here, we got John Howard versus Jake Ellenberger. I think that should be pretty good. I'm kind of giving the edge to John Howard. I think he's got the bricks to do it. You know what I mean? Mark Munoz versus Okami. Kind of giving the edge to Munoz. I'm not too crazily knowledgeable on Okami. Like I said, I don't know much about the guy, so I can't really, give a real thought on who I think is going to win. But the fight that I'm really, really excited about is obviously the main event. Love John Jones, man. Love watching him fight. Vladimir Menchenko is a veteran in the sport. 24-4 record, man. I mean, nice record, The guy's been around a while, man. So this should be a good test for John Jones. I'm giving John Jones the edge, you know what I mean? I think he's, 12-1 or 11-1 or something like that? Maybe two losses. I'm not exactly sure. Only thing I think it could possibly happen in this fight is maybe John Jones gets a little slick with something and maybe leaves a small gap and maybe Vladimir catches him with something maybe. I don't know. So I don't know if you got a little bit of news, little tidbits of news here I got. We did go over some of these on Wednesday. I'm just kind of bringing them to YouTube, so all you guys can get the latest gist though. But on Blog Talk, we are called MMaLowDown because on Blog Talk there's another MMA breakdown, so I didn't want to get into all that. MMaLowDown was another name that I kind of, was pondering, you know what I mean? So I thought, we'll go with it. So recently Dream has kind of joined forces with K1. I'm not sure how Strikeforce fits into that, but because I know Strikeforce and Dream have kind of teamed up as far as, crossing fighters, across both promotions. And they co-promote together, stuff like that. But K1 being in the mix, I'm not sure where they're going to fit in. I'm assuming just green cards. Maybe they can cross organization into, each other's events. Like that, I'm assuming. But bring you some more news on that when I get some more. Kind of a little funny little spot of news. BJ Penn said I'm assuming he's talking about Frankie when he says this. He says he's going to be amazed when he finds out the real me. This is brought to you by Coors Light. I got a lot of respect for BJ Penn. I think it's kind of getting to the time where I'm really getting tired of hearing his talk, though. I'd rather see him fight rather than talk, you know, which we will. And I'm sure he's going to bring a badass game plan. You know what I mean? I think last time he kind of relied on his boxing a little too much. Some people call it a shitty call. I call it, you know, BJ Penn just kind of, you know what I mean, dumb judges. I mean, there's a couple of different factors that people bring into it. So, I mean, in order for me to really, you know, give my definite impression of the fight, I'd have to watch it back. You know what I mean? I watched it, but I'd have to watch it back in order to really tell you solidly what I think of it. Because it's a pretty big feat to be the champion by decision. You know, unless it's just a amazing, decisive, you know, victory. You're just clowning him because it was a close fight. But to the judges, he did just enough to pull it out. And I obviously, from what I saw, I thought he did very well too. Talking about Frankie Edgar. So, but I think the second fight's gonna be a different fight. I think BJ's gonna take it back to the ground. You know, bring in his game plan. You know what I mean? Brock first game, October 21st. I thought it was gonna be like November. Maybe, you know, around Christmas time maybe. I was really pissed. I was like, what the fuck is the matter with this guy? This guy takes a year off. You know, I know he had the ailment. You know, he was sick and all that shit going on. That's understandable. But for a second, I thought, you know, he was got to deliver a kid. I understand that. That's cool. You know, how long does it take to deliver a kid? You know, a couple of weeks or whatever. You get the kid home and whatnot, and spend your fun time and whatnot, and back to training. You know, I mean, whatever. But you know, he wanted to do some work on his farm, stuff like that. So I thought, well, you know, how much time do you need for all that? You know what I mean? Month off, you know, whatever. Month off, then back into a, you know, whatever, 8-10 week training and fight. So I assumed, you know, I think the first thought was they were going to fight in September, you know, which would have been badass, which would have been sweet, you know. But then they said, you know, I got to win that, you know, he wanted to take time off and whatnot. And I was all pissed off about it. We talked about it in the blog. If you guys head over to blogtalkradio.com/MMaLowDown, you'll see the blogs in there. If you want to, you can either download them or play them right from the site, whichever one, it's up to you. We were talking about it. We were all pissed off about it. Then we recapped it in the next show. And kind of took our words back a little bit. We're like, hey, you know what? It's going to happen October 21st. So we're not as pissed about it. We don't have to wait as long. He's not taking as much time off as we thought. So I want to thank Cat Daddy. Cat Daddy called into the show. I want to give him a big old thanks for that. That was cool, man. That was really cool. Barrelman456 called into the show a couple times. Show number 2 and show number 4, I think. That was cool, man. It was cool to have you on. And Mondo MMA. Very cool, man. Good insight on. They're all word knowledge, you know. Cat Daddy, Justin, Barrelman456, and Mondo are all very knowledgeable in the game, so it was very cool to have them on the show. We will in the future have a round table discussion, so, you know, which means we just fill the lines up. You know what I mean? Everybody takes a spot, basically, and discuss on what they think is going to happen with each fight, stuff like that, you know, and who they pick as their winner, you know. So should be good, man. Should be a lot of fun. Like I said, blogtalkradio.com/MMaLowDown. So it's been fun, man. It's been fun so far. Like I said, man, we're barely 2 weeks in, so 6 shows down. 7th show is going to be this Sunday. Should be 8 p.m. Might be a little different around there. Maybe 8 p.m. to 10, I'm thinking maybe. If not a 2-hour show, hour and a half show. But I think I'm going to call it. I'm going to bring you guys another news blog probably here in the next couple of days. Got some good stuff, some good news. I don't have my notes right next to me, so I can't store it all in my brain. Too much stuff going on at work with the band. I mean, there's just too much stuff going on, man. So I gotta have some crazy notes in order to do these, and I ain't got my notes with me. So. Anyway, thank you very much for tuning in. It's been a rough week, man. Been working my balls off and doing these vlogs and doing the band stuff. All that. It's just crazy, man. But I'm doing it. It's fitting in. I'm making it happen. So you guys want to call in the show on Sunday? It's 917-889-8894. Like I said, man, we have a good time. Chat, talk about the fight game, man. It's fun. So, anyway, sub if you haven't yet. Don't wait. It's a button right up there or there. One of the spots. And friend request, all that good stuff. Comment, especially. So, all right, man. We'll see you. Thanks a lot.